Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online. Hello everyone and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week is winter and friendship. And before we get into any lessons, grade 3s, we know that we have to sanitize. So let us take our sanitizer and rub our hands thoroughly. Remember, if you do not have sanitizer, that's okay. You can always use soap and water. Just make sure you wash your hands for 30 seconds. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. For today's lesson, we are going to be doing times tables, present continuous tense, and problem solving. To start today's lesson, boys and girls, let us all turn to page 28. On page 28, we are going to be doing times tables. Now, we already know our times tables, but this time, it's going to be our job to complete the wheels by multiplying the number in the center with the numbers that are around it. We're going to do number 3 together, which is the 3 times table. So let's take a look at the board. Now, just like in your booklet, I have a wheel as well, and it starts at 1 and ends at 12. In the middle of that wheel, I also have 3 times. So if we want to find our answers, it's the same as saying 3 times 1. So we can write it as 3 times 1 equals. So our job now is to fill in the outer part of the wheel. Now we already know our times tables, especially the 3 times table, but I want to help you to find your answers. Now we're going to start with the first answer, and that is 3 times 1. If I have 3 sets and each set has one thing in them, then my answer is 3. So I'm going to write my 3. From there, boys and girls, it's very simple. All you are doing is adding 3 to the last answer. For example, I have 3 here, so I'm going to write my 3. Now the next one will be 3 times 2, which is also the same as saying 3 times 2. And all I have to do is count on 3 to get the answer, if I don't know the answer already. So our 3 is already there, and then we say 4, 5, 6. So we know that the next answer is 6. And we write it in our wheel. Then the next one that we can see is 3 times 3. So to make it easier for you to understand what you need to do, you need to count on from the last number that we wrote. And the last number that we wrote was 6. So we're counting on 3. 6 is already there. 7, 8, 9. So we know that we have to write 9. The next one says, let's say it together, 3 times 4. So we're going to now count on 3 from our answer 9, our previous answer. So we say 9 is already there. 10, 11, 12. Now we have got a wheel that is almost halfway. So boys and girls, let's take our time. The first thing you need to do is know the first answer for number 1, and then you add according to the number in the middle. If it's 5, then you're going to add 5 to your last answer. Take your time, use your fingers if you have to, or a piece of paper to write out the sum so that you don't get confused. And then when you're done, try and say them out loud as you go. 3 times 1 equals 3. 3 times 2 equals 6. 3 times 3 equals 9. 3 times 4 equals 12. That way you'll be practicing your multiples and you will not get lost. Take your time, have fun with all of them, and I'll see you soon after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
For our lesson today, boys and girls, we are going to start on page 29. On page 29, we are going to do present continuous tense. Now, present continuous tense is when we are saying an action that is still going on. It has not stopped. But this time, instead of putting the words, the verbs, we're going to put different kind of verbs before the actual actions. We're going to do number 8, 9, and 10 together. But before we do that, let's take a look at the words we need to use. Now we have 3 that we're going to be using. We're going to be using am. Now am is used when you're referring to yourself. For example, I am dancing, drinking, sleeping. So if it's about you, then you use am. Now it changes if they are, or if it's someone else. If it's someone else, we use the word is. One person or animal. We say she is driving, hopping, playing. We're referring to one person. And then now, if it is more than one person, we say are. Because more than one person or one animal, we now say, if we are even included, we are tired. They are playing. Now, you know that am is for one person, which is yourself. Then is for another person, but there's still one person. And then are is for a group of people. So now that we know this, let's now try and answer 8, 9, and 10. Let's take a look at them. So we're going to begin with number 8. Number 8 says, I dash eating pizza. I dash eating pizza. Do we use am, I am, or do we say I is, or do we say I are? If you said I am, well done. Good job. Go ahead and fill in the missing words. Now we're going to go to number 9. Number 9 says, Anthony dash brushing his teeth. Anthony dash brushing his teeth. Do we say Anthony am brushing his teeth, or Anthony is brushing his teeth, or Anthony are brushing his teeth. If you said Anthony is, well done, because Anthony is one person, so we use is. Please go ahead and fill in that word. Number 10 says, Frank and Charles dash writing. Frank and Charles dash writing. Do we say Frank and Charles am writing? Or Frank and Charles is writing? Or Frank and Charles are writing? If you said are writing, good job, well done! Now I know that you're listening to me. Remember, we said we use the word are when there are two or more people or animals. So, go ahead, boys and girls, and continue this exercise by yourselves. Fill in the missing word, either am, is, or are. Take your time and read each sentence clearly, trying to use all three so that you know which one is the correct answer. When you're done with that one, you can move to the last page, page 30. On page 30, we have storytelling sums. Oh, I love them. It's a good mixture of English and mathematics. Today, we're going to do number 4 together. Remember, we read our story sum twice so that we can find our answers. And then, after finding not just our answers but important numbers, we put them together and try and figure out, are we adding, subtracting, multiplying, or sharing? So let us see what we have to do. Let's read it the first time. Pam collects 60 bottles on Monday. On Tuesday, she collects 23 bottles. 16 bottles got lost. How many bottles does she have left? Let's read that again. This time I'd like you to take out the numbers that are important and then try to figure out which action we're going to do first. Pam collects 60 bottles on Monday. On Tuesday, she collects 23 bottles. 16 bottles got lost. How many bottles does she have left? Now, it seems like we've got 3 important numbers. We have 60 bottles, 23 bottles, and 16 bottles. And then if you look closely, it's asking how many does she have left? Now, every time you come across the word left in a story sum, boys and girls, we know that it means we are subtracting. So, before we subtract, we need to first actually add. And here's why. Let's take a look at the board. Remember, it's asking how many she had left, and she collected bottles on 2 different days. So in order for us to find out Monday and Tuesday put together, we need to add. So the numbers we are adding here are 60 plus 23. That's the first one, so that we know how many bottles she had. So, instead of saying 60 plus 23 like this, we do it by starting with units. 0 plus 3. Now, if I have 0 and then I add 3, my answer is 3. Then we move on to the next one. It says 6 plus 2. I have 6 things and I add 2 more. My answer will be 8. So we now know that the bottles from Monday and Tuesday put together give us 83. Now we can subtract. And what are we going to subtract? Well, the bottles that got lost need to be subtracted or taken away from the total number of bottles. So we're going to say 83 minus 16. So this is what we're going to do. Now remember, boys and girls, you need to lay out your work very carefully in order for us to see exactly how you got your answer. Every story sum or problem solving sum needs to be that way. So we have 83 minus 16. Now it's time for us to actually find our answer. We can say 3 minus 6. It can't, because 3 is smaller than 6. So we need to go and borrow. We're going to borrow a bag of 10 from Mr. Tens. And we go to him and say, Mr. Tens, please can we have one bag of 10? And Mr. Tens will be saying, okay, one bag is fine. So he removes one bag from himself, and then the number 8 changes to 7, and then he gives that bag of 10 to 3 to make it 13. Now we can subtract. We are saying 13 minus 6. Now we're going to use our fingers for this one, and we're going to get up to 13. So 6 is already there, and then we say 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now if we take a good look at the fingers, you will see that I have 7 fingers. So our answer here is 7. Now we continue by saying 7 minus 1. Remember, we took one bag of 10 away from Mr. Tens to help Mrs. Units. So ours now says 7 minus 1. If it's 7 minus 1, boys and girls, that is so simple. 7 minus 1 will give us 6. And now we have our answer. 83 bags bottles minus 16 bottles will give us 67 bottles. So that is the answer that you will write in your booklet. Just to be sure, go back and read the story problem sum a 3rd time. When you are done with all of them, read them as well. Take your time with both exercises, boys and girls. Read out your sentences out loud. Use each one to try and find the answer, and then for your problem solving sums, read it twice before you take out the important information and decide whether you're adding, subtracting, sharing, or multiplying. I will see you soon after the advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn, and more. We distribute countrywide in over 7 different languages.
Boys and girls, we have now come to the end of our lesson. I hope you had fun. Remember, if you're not sure what to do or you didn't understand, that's okay. You can always ask an adult for help. Just make sure that you finish your work by yourself. Now that we are done with our lesson, it's time to sanitize. Remember, boys and girls, you can always teach someone how to sanitize if they don't know. Adults, children, anyone. Let's help each other stay safe. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. Zoshi and I were supposed to go out for some coffee and some cocoa, but I haven't seen him. He said he was going to come and visit me, Zashi, where are you? Oh, there you are, Zashi. So, from Zashi and I, we would like to say thank you for joining us today and goodbye.
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, My Zone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.